Society today often questions how the poor are treated compared to the wealthy. Unfortunately, our own set of values and perceptions color this. I have an interest in fire protection and emergency medical services. This speech will discuss people's claims that emergency response times vary according to the perceived socioeconomic status of the person in need. This speech will focus on defining the optimum response time, how the response time is calculated, and I'll tell about the recommended times and discuss the differences between large cities and smaller ones. First, the obvious. Is there an official standard response time? No, there is not. That would be impossible. The National Fire Protection Agency, NFPA, does not cite a mandatory response time. Think about it. New York City and Boston is a lot bigger and busier than Colorado and Nebraska, the rural areas that we live in. However, there are guidelines. According to the NFPA, the recommended response time for basic life support (BLS) is 4 minutes, and advanced life support (ALS) is 8 minutes. For a fire, the goal is to be on site in less than 5 minutes. And to further discuss the population, size does matter. Only logical 5 BLS or through a busy city or winding up the side of a mountain. Barriers can also be a problem, such as traffic, construction, etc. And street names are another problem, because a lot of them have the same street name now, like Silent Hills, Silent Stream, Silent Oak, Silent Meadow, or the street names are identical, just the ending is different, like Circle, Avenue, Road, Boulevard. And this can make it very confusing to find where the scene is. Take a small city like Beatrice, Nebraska. I interviewed firefighter paramedic Dave Heckman, who has been on the force for 25 years, and he said the Beatrice response times average are 3.5 minutes, which is very fast compared to the others I found. And he told me that his goal is to safely get to the scene as fast as possible, and he has never heard a complaint from anybody about the response times. And this brings us to how time is measured. One way is from the time the call comes in to being on scene. Another way is from wheels leaving the station to wheels stopping at the scene. And another is from the call coming in to being at the patient's side. From 2001 to 2003, New York City paramedics did a study on this, and according to R.A. Silverman, the Department of Emergency Medicine, said the results were the call to dispatch to arrival on scene was 5.2 minutes, and from arriving on scene to the patient's side was 2.1 minutes, for a total of 7.3 minutes. And it's further broke down into different types of scenes. The apartment complexes were 2.8 minutes, offices were 2.7 minutes, private homes were 2.7 minutes, and outside was a half a minute. And the report did not show that the response time had anything to do with who it was. It showed purely distance, location of call, and difficulty to get there as time factors. And often when someone receives a long response time and they feel they have been prejudiced against, some low socioeconomic folks claim they have been prejudiced against. Could it just be as simple as some places are easier and faster to get to than others? I found a quote from the Denver fire chief that sums up how I hope I will feel about serving as a firefighter paramedic. Rich Gonzalez said, quote, "My career as a firefighter is defined by duty to help people without regard or value judgments about a person's personal situation. I just want to help. Service to others is my cornerstone." End quote.